All right, so this is a problem similar to problem 3.6.39 on your homework. And the question says find dh dx, right, the derivative of h with respect to x when h of x is the function x times sine of 6 square roots of x plus 14. All right, so I'm going to be taking a derivative of this. Now I can already see, just analyzing this by inspection, I can see that I'm going to have to apply both the product rule and the chain rule, right? Because first I have this product between this x and this sine term. Neither one of these is a simple constant, so I'm going to have to apply the product rule to that. And now I'm going to have to apply the chain rule specifically to this sine term, right? Because I have a function, square root of x, which is not a simple constant, inside of another function, sine, right? So first I apply the product rule and then the chain rule, and this 14 over here is going to disappear because that's just a constant. Okay, so how's this going to work? Well, h prime of x. So like I was saying, first I apply my product rule. So the derivative of the first term times the second. So derivative of the first, that's just derivative of x, that's just 1. Times the second term, that's sine of 6 times the square root of x. Plus the derivative of the second term. So this is going to be the tricky one. This is where I have to apply the chain rule. So first off, I work outside in, right? So the derivative of sine is cosine, right? So everything stays the same inside. I just take my derivative of my outside function, and then I multiply that by the derivative of the inside function, right? So now I'm going to take the derivative of 6 square root of x. Well, square root of x, remember, we can rewrite square root of x as the x to the 1/2 power, and then apply the power rule. So I bring the 1/2 down, so 6 times 1/2 is 3, and then I subtract 1 from the exponent, so x to the negative 1/2. Okay, so that's the derivative of my inside term. So I've multiplied that through, and then I have to finish the product rule out, right? So it was the first derivative of the first times the second, plus the derivative of the second, which is what I have here, times the first, and the first is just x. And like I was saying before, this 14 is going to disappear. Okay, so this is really what my derivative looks like. On the test, you can absolutely leave your answers like this. You don't have to simplify, but for the purposes of this, we can definitely simplify. So let's simplify this a little bit. So what do we have? We have sine times 6 square, or sine of 6 square roots of x, plus, and then I can bring this x and this x to the minus 1/2 together, and adding the exponents, right? This x over here is really the same as x to the 1 power. And so when I multiply two things with exponents, I add the exponents together. So it's going to become 3 times x to the 1/2 times cosine of 6 square roots of x. So that is the answer simplified.